Hey guys, this is Danielle Harris, and you're listening to the Horror Squad podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Horror Squad podcast. This is episode number 354, where tonight, happy Halloween, everyone. We are doing a double feature in honor of the holiday. It's our annual spooktacular episode where we will be reviewing two 2024 movies. Movie number one is going to be Salem's Lot from 2024, the remake, and also Carved, which is currently streaming over on Hulu. I am here, of course, as always, with Steve and Todd. Gentlemen, happy Halloween. How are you guys doing?
How are you?
Happy Halloween, everyone.
Happy Halloween.
We should also
Um,
mention that they were voted by our
oh
listeners
yeah.
on Discord. So we each picked a movie, and those are the two that got voted in. So,
I want to know
Mhm.
who picked Carve out of the three of us because I got a
I mean, I did
bone to pick
without
with y'all.
I did without watching it. I just knew it was a Halloween themed movie coming out this year, so
Hey, we'll
yeah.
we'll get there. We'll get to that point. But
We'll get there. We'll get there.
yeah.
Gentlemen, I mean, obviously we're not recording on Halloween, but Halloween is just a very short 2 days away. So what are you doing to get into the spirit, and what are your plans for Halloween night?
No, decorate the house and then we're gonna hand out candy, have a little, bonfire in the driveway there. Hopefully we get a good turnout. It's supposed to rain, which is freaking lame. Rainy and warm, which last year was cold and snowy, so I don't know what's going on, man. But hand out some candy. Then we're gonna have some my daughter's friends come over. They're gonna watch some horror movies. Just good old classic Halloween fun.
yeah, I have very little going on. I'm in the middle of the move, so all my stuff's still in storage. So I decorated a little bit, mostly stuff I picked up this year, and I'll just hand out candy. It's not like it's not going to be a big display this year, but next year, watch out. So instead, I'll probably just work on my themed room inside the house.
All right, awesome, awesome. Yeah, I've been going out. I went out busking the other day, which is aka street performing, downtown in Salem. Did my Santa art, which always seems to do very well. So that's been fun, and that's been helping me get more in the spirit. Seeing people, in other costumes and whatnot downtown in Salem and stuff. So that's been pretty cool. Halloween day or night, just kind of be the whole city sort of shuts down here, and they set up a bunch of stages, so there'll be live bands going on and whatnot. So I'll just kind of be mingling around the crowds and whatnot, most likely, and kind of doing a lot of people watching and sightseeing down there. So that's kind of the plan. It's supposed to be 80 degrees, so which is crazy. It's unpredictable. Like today, it's like 39 degrees and then it's going to be 80. That's just New England weather. So yeah, I mean, I think it's going to create a million extra people probably downtown because the weather's going to be so nice. And being on a Thursday, I think most people will probably take a long weekend and take that Friday off as well. So we'll see. And then I don't know. I feel like there's going to be Halloween spillover into the weekend. So I might go down and do a little busking on Friday or Saturday. We'll see. We'll see how if I'm up for it or how I'm feeling. So yeah, that's sort of my plans for that. But hope everyone out there is enjoying their Halloween night. I'm sure a lot of you guys are gonna be watching horror movies, handing out candy, doing whatever you will be doing. Just remember, please be safe, be responsible. If you are gonna drink, call an Uber or walk or do something like that. We want to see
Or
you
call
guys
Joe.
safe.
Here's his number.
Right, exactly. But we do want to see you guys, of course, around for next Halloween. So, of course, if you are going to party and don't, enjoy yourselves, but of course, be responsible. And we'll leave it at that. All right, Steve, let's get into the show. I think we are ready to spill a little tea.
Let's do it.
Oh, you want the tea? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We don't serve tea. Nope. Instead, you get a cup of Joe. And now here's Joe with the news.
All righty. Thank you so much, Chuck. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is your cup of Joe for this week. Let's start off with some Terrifier 3 news. Of course, we just reviewed Terrifier 3 last week. I hope you enjoyed the episode. And if you didn't, go and give it a listen. Or maybe you're waiting because it hasn't come out yet. But it has just been announced actually that it is going to be coming out very soon. And amazing. I think Todd mentioned Umbrella off air is
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
an amazing box set or something.
I can tell you a little bit about it real
Yeah,
quick.
please do.
So, Umbrella, Australian company that does amazing releases. I got the Late Night with the Devil release, fucking phenomenal. And they had 4 days of art actually, where every day they had like a little treat, releasing. And on the last day, it was a triple feature, 4K, Terrifier 1, 2, and 3 with All Hallows Eve as one of the special features. Terrifier 3 VHS tape, a Art the Clown build yourself like a little Lego guy with like a bunch of weapons and things like that. Like a hundred and something or maybe 200-page booklet featuring like making of and shit. It's like a loaded set. $130 is a little bit pricey, but for the physical collectors out there, like I had to hop on it, bought it, and it should be here before December, or I mean before Christmas. They're kind of guaranteeing or hoping. So I don't know. It's fucking cool set. But if you don't want all the knickknacks, they are selling just the 4Ks by themselves. If you just want the movie.
Mhm.
So I highly recommend it, man. It's a great company. And they're
Awesome.
region free too, so don't worry about that.
Nice. So yeah, you'll be able to get, I mean, from what I'm hearing, did they announce release date for that, Todd? I'm sorry. No, not yet. It's coming though.
Mm-mm.
All right.
I
From
mean,
what
it's
I'm he
coming before December,
That's what I,
Christmas.
yeah,
So
that's what, from what I heard, it's definitely going to get out before Christmas, which obviously it's smart marketing at that point, right? So stay tuned. If you haven't had a chance to see it in theaters yet, you'll have a chance definitely before Christmas time. But I bring up Terrifier 3 because, ladies and gentlemen, the R train keeps on rolling and shows no signs of stopping as Terrifier 3 has now become the highest grossing unrated movie of all time, ladies and gentlemen, even surpassing the highest grossing NC-17 films, currently sitting worldwide box office at $55.1 million. That is insane because just in North America alone, it's sitting at $44.5 million. Let's compare that to Terrifier 2's theatrical take. The entire run of Terrifier 2 in theaters did $10.9 million. So, I mean, that is just insane to think about. It's already made 4 times what Terrifier 2 made in its entire theatrical run. And honestly, they could probably ride this thing through November and December if they really wanted to in theaters with it being a Christmas movie. But just so impressive. Once again, I mean, we say it every week, but it really is just a train that will not stop. And it's just so impressive. So congratulations to Terrifier 3 and the whole crew that's over there doing it. All right, next bit of news here I wanted to mention is Insidious. Have you guys heard about this live show that is going to be coming to a potential, not movie theater near you, but a potential like actual theater near you? So they are titling this Insidious: The Further You Fear. And let me read a little bit about this show. Brace yourself for the scare of a lifetime as the world of Insidious jumps off the screen and into your theater seat with Insidious: The Further You Fear. It will be an immersive live horror experience based, of course, on the Insidious films. It will be an all-new thrilling story set in the Insidious universe. The show will be hosted by a quote-unquote real Specs and Tucker, the actual paranormal investigators who inspired the original movie. The event soon takes a turn for the terrifying when a paranormal demonstration goes horribly wrong. Dark forces are unleashed and the horror becomes all too real. You will be trapped in a haunted theater with something truly sinister lurking backstage. The audience will find themselves under attack from such iconic characters as the Bride in Black, the Wheezing Man, and of course, the infamous red face demon. They are going all over the United States, and I believe there is going to be a couple of Canadian shows as well. I did see it's coming to Boston. I don't know if it's coming to your guys' area, but
it's
this
coming to
sounds
Cincinnati. Yeah.
there you go, coming to Cincinnati. So I think it's going to be all over coming through 2025. The first date is going to be January 18th in Arkansas, and like I said, going through the entire United States. Gentlemen, is this something you have any interest in going to see? I mean, it sounds pretty friggin' awesome to me.
I'm looking at it, and if you bought a floor seat, it's $95,
All right, a
like
little
for,
pricey.
and then third row $75, and so on and so on. So I don't know. I'm intrigued.
I'll see it if it comes to my city or somewhere nearby. I'll definitely go see it. I mean, I love just a Halloween Horror Nights house, and that was like 5 minutes. So having a full show would be really cool. We really don't get enough horror shows that like tour. Like you could go like to Broadway and stuff to see some, but the actually touring ones, other than Evil Dead, I can't really think of any that are. Well, there's like the classic, like Phantom of the Opera and stuff like that too. But I
Hmm.
mean, like
Beetlejuice.
horror, modern horror properties, it's pretty rare. So yeah, I definitely go see it.
Yeah, I think this sounds awesome. And like you said, we really haven't seen anything like this. And it seems like it's going to be very interactive. It seems like you're going to have like these characters maybe actually like out into your seats and stuff like that. So it could be really fucking terrifying to some people and pretty cool. So this is definitely something I think I'm going to check out. I know it's coming to Boston in March. So um and then when's yours coming, Todd?
January 28th. I'm looking
January
at
20th. All right.
row A seat one for
Okay.
$84. So I'm thinking about pulling the
Might
trigger
have to
on
do it. I was
this.
gonna say, I'm if someone, so maybe Todd will be the first one to see it and give a full-fledged
Yeah, I
review
don't
on
know.
it. And if he doesn't make it, I'll definitely give a review in March. But I'm hoping you go first, Todd, because you say it sucks and I won't go. So
Save you money, yeah.
I think it'll be. It sounds cool though, and I think if Blumhouse is doing it and they're putting the money in, it could be a really cool show. I wish the real Specs and Tucker were going on tour, but if they get good enough actors to do it, it could be pretty dang cool. So we'll see about that. All right, next bit of news here is: are you guys ready? I mean, I know this is rare, but are you ready for another horror television show
No, we're done.
coming to
We're
life?
we're we're okay. I'm giving you Halloween, and then we are cut off from horror TV shows. You keep announcing these, and they
Yes,
seem to never fucking come out. Other than Creep comes out next month, I think, or this coming month. Other than that, it seems all these get
pre-tapes.
announced and announced and announced, and none of these actually ever come out. So
Okay.
you're
Well,
done.
what if I told you, Steve, it has to do with Stephen King? And I know you're a big Stephen King fan. And what if I were to tell you Mike Flanagan was attached as well to this television series for Amazon? And that is they will be going for the iconic Carrie. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. It has been announced that Mike Flanagan and Stephen King are going to be teaming up for an adaptation of course, the based on the classic novel. Deadline did report on this. The plan: an 8-episode television series adaptation of the iconic horror tale. So, what do you guys think about that? Is that okay? Like limited 8 series and that 8-episode thing, and that's it? Are you down more for that?
So, like, just hearing the announcement, cool people behind it, but Carrie's one of those ones I didn't feel needs another adaptation, of all the stories out there. However, I don't know if you guys remember the Sophia Lillis led show called I'm Not Okay with This that came out
Mm-hmm.
maybe 3, 4 years
I do.
ago.
Yep.
It was one season, and it kind of teased a Carrie-ish
Mm-hmm.
plot twist, but then the show got canceled, so we never actually followed up with it. So seeing that show, which I really, really like that show, I was bummed when it got canceled. I see potential in it, but again, Carrie's it's not like one of those stories that we haven't seen a million times already. So I don't know.
All right. Well, we'll see. It's coming. I'm okay. I think knowing that it's only going to be one season, right? Or 8 episodes, one and done. You can get through that whole thing. I'm interested. And Mike Flanagan's always amazing. He's every TV series he's done, like, has been pretty much gold. So, and Carrie's always it's a classic story. I mean, I know it's been done to death, but we'll see. Could be good. You never know. I mean, I feel like every adaptation of Carrie's been decent, right? There hasn't been any terrible ones. They've all had their good and bad, I think. What is the worst version? Would you say it'd be the Chloe Grace Moretz one?
I'd probably have to go with that one.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think the
me
best one
too.
Yeah.
is the book, but I mean, Carrie from '70s is pretty good.
Yeah, right. And then don't forget the Angela Bettis
Ah, The
version
Yeah.
Rage.
as well. Well, no, that's
No,
actually a
the
different
actually
one.
other Carrie.
Oh,
Yeah.
There is
there's
another
more than
remake of
another
Carrie
one?
too.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. Check it out,
sweet.
Todd. Come on, get
I
on it.
don't think I'm going to. I'll
Get on it.
leave that with you.
And to
All
think
right.
how close we came to never having Carrie at all. because I don't know if you guys remember the story, but Stephen King actually threw out the book because he
Oh.
thought it was shit. And his wife picked it out of the trash can, read it, put it back on his table, and said, "You need to finish this because this is great," and kind of like explained to him how teenage girls think and stuff.
Shout out to Tabitha King. Go
Indeed.
Tabby.
Indeed. All right. Well, speaking of, well, we talked about the Insidious universe. Well, now let's talk about the Conjuring universe, as the Conjuring Last Rites has officially begun filming. This allegedly will be the franchise's final installment. Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga are returning for this one. As far as I'm trying to see, right? So currently it's slated to release September 5th of next year. I'm sure it seems like the plot is currently under wraps as far as what it will actually be about. But what do you think, Steve, especially? I mean, you're the big Conjuring guy in this one. After the stinker we got with The Devil Made Me Do
Hmm.
It, do you think they will right the ship for the final film?
Part of me wants to say yes, they learned from their mistake of three, and they're going to make an amazing four, especially knowing that this is the final one, at least with the people attached.
Hmm.
However, if history has taught me anything, is that no one fucking learns anything, and it could be even worse. I mean, look at you, Halloween Ends, and a bunch of other stuff where you're like, no, they're gonna fix it next time, and they don't. So I'm hoping, but I'm not super optimistic either.
Totter, any thoughts?
No.
All right. Moving on. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, file this one under why? Because we are getting a new American Psycho movie. This one they are calling a new interpretation of the original movie, of course, with the book based off the book from Bret Easton Ellis. Why this might be interesting is Luca Guadagnino, however, I'm butchering that last name, is slated to direct this one. And why I find this interesting is he actually did the Suspiria remake, and he also did a movie called Bones and All, which I believe Steve might have watched as well as myself last year. I don't know if Todd ever saw it. And he just recently did Challengers. All three movie. I did not see Challengers, but I heard it was very good. But both horror movies he did were very, very good. Now, whether, I don't know how you can improve like off of Christian Bale's like performance, who is going to play.
I hate it. I'm gonna
All right,
interject. I hate
let's
it.
hear it. Yeah,
I hate it
please
so much.
interject.
I hate 2024 interjecting itself into this amazing property. Christian Bale is Patrick Bateman. We
Mhm.
can we talked about it. Go to our episode we did, 10 episodes or so ago. We had a great
Not Mila
discussion.
Kunis then.
Get out of here with your shit.
And Shatner.
What we talk? Don't try to derail me when I'm doing a rant. No, but I've already seen people like, oh, Timothy Chalamet should be. Get Timothy out of here. Let him do fucking Dune. Dune's great, but I don't know, man. Like, if I guess if they do a closer adaptation to the book, we'll have something because the book is like extremely brutal.
Yeah, it is.
But like, I don't. You can put Christian Bale's in theater right now, and that movie would kill. Like, it's almost like a timeless piece. Plus, it applies really well. It works really well in our current landscape. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's unwarranted, unneeded for me. I think American Psycho is amazing as it is. So you're not going to be able to improve on it, but I guess we'll see, right?
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I don't I agree. It's just like how can you improve? You can't. You cannot improve. Like that movie is just perfect the way it is. And remaking it, like not even that like I don't also don't understand this whole trend of like let's remake movies that aren't even that old. You know? It's just like we still remember them. Like you remake movies from like 40 plus 30 to 40 plus years ago where like kids coming up like don't remember these movies or even adults don't remember some of these movies, but like instead we're just like remaking movies that aren't even 20 years old. It just doesn't make any sense to me, but we'll see. Maybe it'll be good. All right, I threw in this next story literally just for you guys because I knew you would both want to talk about this, I'm sure. And that is we are going to be getting a graphic novel based on George A. Romero's The Amusement Park, and it will be presented by none other than himself, John Carpenter, will be presenting this graphic novel. Sounds pretty cool. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'll take anything Romero. And I was actually thinking you were going to talk about the Ken Foray comic book that
Mm.
he's producing. But interesting property to go with though, the amusement park. That's kind of out of left field.
That is, but I feel like a lot of Romero's other work has already been graphic noveled,
That's
so
true.
maybe, well, I mean, there's some that that haven't, but like the big ones anyway have been done. So yeah, I mean, why not, right? Like Todd, because it's Romero, I'll probably pick it
Yeah.
up.
Mhm.
I was thinking we should get Joe's favorite Romero movie, Bruiser. Get a little graphic novel action. That'd
There
be
you
cool.
go. Real quickly, in John Carpenter presents George A. Romero's The Amusement Park. That's a mouthful. And, an impatient businessman in his 20s meets an elderly man who spins a fantastic tale about a long gone amusement park. As the conversation continues, the younger man is disturbed to learn the story of an elderly man eager to recapture the memories of his youth. And then anyone who might be interested, it is going to debut online and in comic stores May 7th, 2025. So save the date, Steve and Todd. I'm sure you guys will be picking that up. All right. All right. Just two more quick little stories to get through here. And that is, Steve, I know you're very excited about this. Universal Orlando's Epic Universe is opening officially May 2025. I heard people are already waiting 7+ hours online just to get tickets for that opening month. I think it is completely sold out actually for that opening month, which is insane. But why are we so excited about this? Because Universal Monsters Land, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be a part of this. You're going to have Frankenstein's castle, you're going to have the windmill, you're going to have all the different Universal monsters featured one way or the other. Just an absolute must go to. Steve, is this even going to be possible to get into when you go or when we hopefully both go in September?
Yes, it is. Right now,
Okay.
there are still tickets for September. It's just the first month, and that's mostly because of the locals. They want to see it first and everything like that. So, yeah, I'm sure we'll be able to get in maybe just one day though, because they're doing like kind of separate tickets in the other parks. However, I don't know if you saw this, Joe,
I
but
did not.
today they released the first like kind of footage of some of the attractions in the Dark Universe. So we talked about this in the past, where the design for the Universal monsters don't look amazing. I know there was a lot of chatter online that they don't look enough like the classic monsters. They have more of an like new age vibe and everything like that. Well, they said that there's going to be 14 animatronics in the attraction in the
Wow.
castle, and they showed off four of them. They showed off Wolfman, Dracula, Frankenstein's monster, and Creature from the Black Lagoon. And I can say that they look fucking awesome. They
Sweet.
translate a lot better in animatronic form than they did as like pictures. So I think it's going to be really cool, and I cannot wait to get to experience that and so many other things in Epic Universe.
Hell yes. If you're a horror fan, this is gonna be the new Mecca, right? It's gonna be the place to go. There's nothing like it that, we can sort of go to and congregate at. Just like it's gonna be so, so cool. Just being amongst, I feel like everyone in there is gonna be like horror fans. Most people, everyone else is just gonna be like sort of a walkthrough. And like I feel like even for kids, parents won't want to bring their kids in there because it might be a little scary. So yeah, hell yeah, this is gonna be awesome. I hope there's gonna be like horror meetups in there and stuff like that. I hope they really embrace this, and it's something really special for horror fans, and hopefully they expand it, in years to come, and we see more and more. Because I hear there's going to be potentially a Creature from the Black Lagoon ride down the road and stuff like that. It all depends on the success, which I think it's going to be a home run for sure. All right. Really quick, Samara Weavin and Radio Silence have officially, it was rumored, but now it is officially official. They are both coming back for Ready or Not Part 2. Very exciting there. And finally, this is a story Steve wanted to talk about, so I did not want to leave this off. The Land of Nod, a new movie that is going to be coming out. Why did Steve want to talk about it? Because it has been announced that Skinamarink, this director of Skinamarink, Kyle Edward Ball, will be directing this, and he has been hired by A24 to make this movie. So you have Skinamarink and A24 combining forces. For some, that is a complete and utter nightmare, I think. For me personally, I mean, I love, you know me, I love A24. I did not really like Skinamarink, but I think this director has potential with the right studio. And you got to remember, you got to think like Skinamarink was a complete and utter experimentation film. And I think if you give him like a narrative, like a story with narration, he could maybe do something pretty good and something like right in that A24 realm. But Steve, I'll let you take it away and let's hear your thoughts.
Wow, I fell asleep just listening to it, let alone what this movie is going to be. I mean, like I respect Skinamarink for trying something different, but to say that it didn't hit with me would be an understatement. I personally think, and again, it's just my personal opinion, and I don't care if you think it's a masterpiece, but in my personal opinion, it is the absolute worst movie I've ever seen in my life. And I watched some shit. Like I watched all sorts of
You
weird
haven't
shit
watched
on.
Michael Jackson's Ghost Island or whatever the fuck it's
No,
called.
no,
That you made me watch, you son
you
of a
know,
bitch.
I have standards, Todd.
Is that the
Um,
music video?
no,
No, I
No,
forget what was it
it's like an
called?
actual
it's
movie.
Little Girl
Little.
Island Massacre. I
That
don't
doesn't
know,
sound
like
right.
no,
It's the worst movie I've ever seen,
All
ever.
right.
And
Lost
I
Island
Lost
Castaway
Island
or
something,
something. Yeah,
something like that. Yeah.
I erased it from my memory. Anyway, yeah. So I don't know because you know he did something different. But does that translate to being a director who can make a full-length feature film with a studio, with a script, with, multiple like shots and dialogue and things? I don't know if that translates. Like, I don't know what this guy's credentials are. I know he had a partner that kind of worked on the film with him. Unfortunately, he passed away before the movie was completed. I don't know. Like, it seems to be a huge leap from a concept movie to a full length feature for A24 to me. But I guess we'll see. But speaking of, accomplished filmmakers, Todd, we didn't talk about this yet.
Oh,
So how about we get a little update on our little concept
little
movie that we're
movie.
we're going to make?
Thank you. So over at Indiegogo.com, look us up the final episode as of this recording. We have 14 days left, but once you hear this episode, what will be down to 11 days left or something like that? I don't know. Don't ask me to do any kind of math.
Something
We
like that.
are, yeah, we are 114% funded
Woo!
with 69 backers at
Ooh.
4,568 bucks. But breaking news right now, Steve and Joe don't know this.
Wow.
Because when we were recording the tea with Joe's cup of tea there, cup of Joe, whatever the fuck you call it, we had an executive producer come in, Bora herself from
Oh,
Oh, no
Salem,
way.
Mass,
wow.
the
Wow.
Thank you,
famous
Bora.
witch. Yeah, it's freaking awesome, man. So,
That's cool.
Bora, jeez.
yeah, the Black Hat Society, right over there in Salem. You got
Yep.
Bora, 333 years, 333 years
Yep.
young.
Yep,
Yep.
So,
absolutely.
yeah, we got an official witch as the backer. That's pretty freaking
Hell
cool, man.
yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah,
Perfect.
so keep it coming in, people. Like, thank you so much for spreading the word. Thank you for giving us your support. Man, we are like eager to freaking go. Like, I know these guys got, their plans going. I got a bunch of shit that I'm gonna buy. I just can't wait to get the cash and make this movie the best we can make it. But gosh, we got a witch as a producer.
That's
That's
awesome.
gotta mean something.
That's sweet. Yeah, I wish I could get Bora in my movie some way. Some, I don't think it would fit
I bet she
my
could. I
mo-
bet
my
she
f-
could.
mood.
Yeah, maybe just
Hmm.
walking by and we'll
Yeah,
table it. We'll table it. We'll discuss.
table it. I think maybe we could get her in there some like in the Salem downtown scene-ish,
Well,
like
there's a jogging
something.
scene that she might fit into.
Yeah.
Ooh, maybe.
Maybe this
Maybe
whole
jogging
thing is
down.
a Bora origin story.
There we go.
That'd be actually pretty
But
sick.
thank you so much, Bora. Really,
Yeah,
really
that's
appreciate your
awesome.
support.
Yes.
And everyone, check out our Bora interview
Hell
on
yeah.
Mhm.
our Hocus Pocus episode 2 episodes ago.
She's so funny.
Absolutely insane interview. So funny, so great. Like Bora is just one of the best out there.
Mhm. Oh man, we actually had coffee with Bora like on a whim. Like we were just sitting there and she walked by and she came and sat with us and she was just sitting like roasting like so many people like uncomfortably walking by. She's like, "Oh, looks like you could use like looks like you ate a couple babies or something like that," or like just like being like, "Oh, yeah, are you a grandma or are you a great grandma?" She was just like just
Jesus.
brutalizing people. Like even Sam was like, "Oh my God, Bora, settle down." But it was hilarious. Bora's just the best. So thank you, Bora, for that. And I think that's about it for updates and horror news this week. So thank you so much, everyone, for that. And now, Todd, it's time, baby. Bust out the book. How big is this book, by the way? Because it must be so huge. I know you keep tabs every single week for the past 5 years.
Mhm.
It is like a spell book, a
It's
like a
it's
la a
huge.
hocus pocus spell book type thing going
It is
on there.
huge, dude. I
So
have
bust
to
out the books, tally it up. Let's know the scores.
hold on. Let me lift it up. Off the
Oh
floor.
my,
Okay, it's
oh my
heavy.
God.
It's heavy, man. So
Jesus.
quarter number four.
It's like when you
It's
go
the
to the
final.
bathroom.
It's it's the final. Don't push too hard because I heard that gives you hernias or something. But yeah. So final quarter.
I meant all
We
the heavy
got.
lifting.
Well, you need to be quiet because I'm trying to do my joke and I keep getting. I'm going to skip to the points here. We got 8 for myself versus Steve and Joe tied at 5 apiece. Quarter number 4, Any Man's Game. I think we all have a theme tonight if we all follow directions.
All the same team, probably.
Yes.
Halloween
Yes.
theme doesn't have to be the movie, doesn't have to be the season. It can be a combination of anything Halloween
Mhm.
related.
Yes.
Mm,
Let's get it on.
Okay, I'll start us off
All right.
with a nice
excellent.
little fun one. Of course, happy Halloween,
Mm,
everyone. Hopefully, you're listening to this on the day this releases on
Mhm.
Halloween. If not, Halloween lives in our hearts 365,
mm.
24/7, so you can still enjoy this Halloween themed trivia. So I'll start us off with a quite a simple one, but a fun one.
Okay.
On average, how many seeds are there in a pumpkin?
On
Wow.
average, I mean, big pumpkin, little pumpkin, just
Are
general
we?
pumpkin.
On
Is it
average.
closest to?
On
I don't think I
average,
can.
I'll give you guys the closest two, but I wouldn't be surprised if someone, you could.
nailed it.
It's a nice solid number.
Round number.
It's a round number, so
Okay, so we're
you
not talking.
potentially could
Okay,
get it.
I'm gonna
let
go
go ahead.
150.
Okay,
150 on the
150.
board.
Okay.
I'm going. That's the thing. I don't know what kind of they're basing the average off. Like a big, because I got a little
Just
pumpkin
your
today.
average everyday pumpkin, I would
Well,
say. You go to the supermarket or you go to your pumpkin patch, I would say
okay.
just your average sort of medium-sized pumpkin.
Steve said 150, so let's fuck him over and
Hmm.
do 170.
Okay, I'm going to erase both of those because you guys are well under.
Well, oh,
Well
Well
under.
under.
well under.
I wouldn't
Uh,
say like extremely under, but well under.
Okay.
So I'll
Uh,
give you guys
So
both
you go
another
first, Todd, this
guess.
time. So,
Well, okay. Thank you.
but I will give you a
Uh,
buffer. Like to be fair.
you could fuck me over and say like 401, like they do in Prices Right,
All
you
You
right.
sons
can
of
go. No,
bitches.
I'm not. You can't. You can go over. I'm just gonna say closest
Yeah.
within
All
Sure.
right.
like a number.
I'm going 400 even.
400
Okay.
even.
I'll
Okay.
give you a big buffer. I'll
Okay.
go 300.
300 even. Okay.
300.
4-3.
Okay. Todd takes it, ladies and
Oh
gentlemen,
wow.
Let's go.
because the correct answer is 500 seeds in your
I
average
wouldn't
pumpkin.
guess that, man. I
Me
would not
neither,
guess
man. Because
that.
I'm thinking like, so my mom used to roast them,
Yeah.
and she'd put them on a pan.
Right.
There's no way we were ever fucking close to 500.
No, yeah, I 100% agree, and I was thinking that too. Like it's not like they're piled on top of each other either. It's like a
Right.
nice layer.
Yeah.
Very strange. Maybe, Pumpkin Gate. What happened to the pumpkin seeds? I don't
Right?
know.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, I'll go next. According to my exhaustive online research, everybody,
Hmm.
Hmm.
how often does a full moon occur on Halloween night? I'm
Ooh.
looking for years, and I will go closest to. You
So
are
like
allowed to go over.
every this many years.
Correct. Like
Okay.
how Jeepers Creepers is what, 23 years, some shit like that.
Yes.
So you
Yes.
can go over. I'm looking how
I'm
often,
gonna
years
say
wise.
every. This is tough.
And the next one
Every
won't happen. Oh, go ahead.
oh,
No, no,
every
no, no.
10 years.
Every 10 years is on the board, Steven.
No, I'm gonna go more than that. I would go every 25 years.
Steven, the average is 19 years.
Nice.
Okay. All right.
19 years. And the next
Very
one, I
nice.
forget exactly what it was, but I think it's like 2035 or something like that. to the
All
next
right.
one will happen. So mark your
Very good.
calendars.
So, do you remember the last one? Because I do.
No.
So, 1 year.
I think it was during COVID, wasn't
Yeah. So,
it?
1 year, Halloween was on Saturday.
hmm
It was beautiful weather. It was on the night that we did the time back, so we got an extra hour out of it.
Mm.
And it was a full moon. And
And no one could go
motherfucking, it
outside.
was COVID year. Like, it was the most bullshit thing
We were all
ever.
banned to be inside.
Yeah, so, yeah, it's terrible. All right. But, yeah, we'll see how you do on these.
Okay.
All movies we've reviewed on the
Oh,
podcast, so.
Generally, we don't do well on that.
Yeah.
I'm assuming
Uh,
maybe spectacular ones, Ton. Hint, hint. We'll see.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll see.
in
Interesting.
Hubie Halloween,
Seen it.
Know it. Know it well.
we were just in some of the filming
We were in
locations.
Salem.
We were.
Steve Buscemi plays a werewolf.
hmm
In
Oh,
how
dear.
many movies total has Buscemi played a werewolf character?
Oh,
He-
shit.
Well, first of all, I did not remember him being in Hubie Halloween, so
Oh
He
wow,
was a
that's not a
neighbor.
good start.
he was.
He was Hubie's neighbor.
Okay. I need to watch. I need to watch it again.
Yeah,
It's been a
same,
few years.
same.
So in Buscemi's
Um,
career, how many movies has he
Werewolf.
played a werewolf character?
Gee
mean,
whiz.
I can only think of one,
I
but
guess you're. Yeah,
I'm
I guess.
guessing.
Well, spoiler, it's at least one because in Hubie Halloween he played a werewolf.
Right.
Uh,
Two.
It's not two.
it's not two.
How do you want to guess?
But is it three?
It is not three.
But is it one?
Nope. So the answer was five.
What the fuck? All right, name them.
Easy. He played werewolf in Hubie Halloween, and he
Okay.
played a werewolf in all four Hotel Transylvania movies.
Oh, you bitch.
Okay.
Nice.
I've-
Those are good movies, man.
yeah, I think I've
Like
only
them
seen the first one.
It's good. First one's the
All
best.
right. All right, back to me.
Mhm.
All right. This will get you in the mood, maybe, folks. Get a little spooky. Classic story.
Oh,
The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. The
Yes.
Headless Horseman.
know it
Very
well.
creepy. You know it well. How well
Well,
do you know it?
I
Can you tell
know.
me who wrote The Legend of Sleepy Hollow?
Oh wow.
Oh man, I just read some stuff about that too, and I know a couple of our buddies, Noel and Brenda,
Yeah,
are
they're
definitely
yelling.
know the
But how
answer.
do you not know this? I'm not going to be your friend anymore. I don't know why I have the Ernest Klein in my head. I know that's not it, but
Is it? I'm just gonna throw out the only like classic author I know, Edgar Allan Poe.
It is not
no,
Edgar
it's
Allan
definitely
Poe.
not Poe.
Oh, sorry. Dang.
Oh my
You
God.
idiot.
You fucking moron. Look at this guy.
Oh, I could like picture a fucking poster where it says right on it, and I can't.
Mm, mhm.
Think of it.
Ebenezer Scrooge.
Yes, that's right. Damn it.
Ebenezer
Is
Scrooge.
Ebenezer Scrooge? Is it? Oh God, damn.
Ichabod Crane.
Yes, famous character from the story.
Casper Van Dien.
but-
I'm just naming people. Christina Ricci.
Yes.
No,
Tim
no,
Burton.
Sorry. Famous stories. If you ever want, Are You Afraid of the Dark fans, The Tale of the Midnight Ride, based off it, one of the best Are You
Oh.
Afraid of the Dark episodes for sure. Definitely
cool.
check that one out. Also, if you ever want to go to the actual Sleepy Hollow, it is in New York, where you can see a lot of stuff
Have you been there?
based off it. I have not yet. I've wanted to. I hear it's like a good like day trip. You know what I mean? Like there's not, from what I've heard, there's not a ton to do there. Like I heard the cemetery's awesome, but they haven't like embraced it like a Salem where like it's like kind of becomes a whole trip. It's sort of a pass through thing from what I've
Gotcha.
heard. So.
I don't know.
But all right, you guys are
I
stumped.
can't remember.
Johnny
The author
Depp.
who wrote, of course, the infamous The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, written by Washington Irving.
Oh,
Washington Irving.
yeah.
Know him. Great guy.
We'll be
Great guy.
handing out our horror card back after this episode.
All right.
Way to embarrass us, Joe.
It's okay. It's okay. Okay. Based on the film, one of the films we were watching tonight, based on a Halloween event, Carved.
Oh,
What is the name of the farm that the corn food truck comes from? Hint. It has to do with a horror director.
Craven Farms.
Judges? I'm hearing that they will allow it. Craven Hill
Thank you.
Farm.
Craven,
Hill
thank you.
Farm.
Thank you.
Yep,
I just remember the Craven
Mhm.
because I was like, oh, I wonder if that has to do, if it was
definitely
an
did.
homage. Yeah.
Definitely did.
All right, another movie we reviewed. What's the name of the dog in Ernest Scared Stupid?
What do you mean, Vern?
I asked the same question last year on
Did
this
you?
episode, and I'm going to ask it every year until you guys remember it.
Hmm.
Let me go back to the episode real
I don't.
quick.
I don't think we've ever. Have we? Did we review that, or
We
was
did.
it the three guys did? Okay, we did
Yeah,
review
we
it.
did.
Yeah,
Was
Yeah.
that our
yeah,
first?
it was my pick, so
Okay.
Um, is it horror related?
no.
No, it's
No,
not horror related.
it's
It's like
something. It's
my dog Skip. Skip.
It's not a common
no.
dog name.
No.
It's like Slingshot or something like that.
You're
It's pretty
very
close.
close. You're
Yeah,
very
yeah,
close.
yeah.
Very close to slingshot.
Rim shot.
That's it. Rim shot.
Nice,
Mhm.
nice.
Yes.
Like rim
Pulled that
job?
one out of my ass.
Yeah.
Rim shot.
And
That's
he
funny.
says it so much in the movie too.
Yeah.
So.
Now you can retire the
Yeah,
question.
I could retire the question, or will I? We'll see.
Oh,
TBD.
shit. Rim shot.
I'll
Rim
probably
shot. Rim
forget
shot. Rim
next
shot.
year. So go
Yeah.
for it. All right, is it back to me?
Yep.
Yep.
Final round.
Right. Final round. I have some bonus ones if you guys would like, just for fun at the end of
Oh.
this.
Just for fun. Yeah.
Just for fun. Okay, so let me see which one I want to pick here. All right, I'll pick this one. All right. According to Google, so you know it's good.
You know, well, the news
What?
doesn't lie.
What was the most popular Halloween costume from last year?
Last
Wednesday.
year?
Wednesday is incorrect.
Are we talking boy, girl, both?
Just both, like in
Uh,
general. What
I'll
was the
take
most popular
one more
Halloween
guess
costume?
after.
I'm going with Harley Quinn.
Yeah, that was my other
Harley
guess.
Quinn is incorrect.
Okay, so we get one more guess. Last year, what happened last year?
Yeah, I was gonna actually
There's
gonna
always
say
something in
Harley-
pop culture, like the Hawk Tuah girl this year, probably.
Yeah, and also the Australian fucking breakdancer this year.
Oh, really? I didn't see that.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh, that's funny. Ray
Uh,
gun?
Ray gun. Yeah.
Is it Tiger King?
It is not
That
Tiger
was a
King.
couple years ago, if
A
anything.
couple years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not something stupid like Ghost or anything, right?
No.
Okay.
Nope. It is a. You guys are on the right track with pop culture.
I'm gonna go with Joker.
Joker is
Joker.
incorrect. I'll give you guys one more guess each because I want you to dig deep
What
on this
happened
one. Think
last
about
year?
last year. Is
What
very
was it?
pop culture.
What was the big thing? What was the stupid thing
Yes.
that happened?
I don't
What
even
was the
remember what I
stupid
had for
thing?
dinner. So,
I had corn dogs for dinner. Yeah.
oh my God.
Something happened last year. What was it? 2023.
It was huge. I'll
It
say
was-
that.
oh
It
my
was
gosh.
huge. It was everywhere. It
Was
was one of the biggest things going
It
in
wasn't
pop
an
culture.
It's not an election year last year. It's not a
I'm gonna
president.
go Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift is incorrect, but that's a great guess.
Taylor Swift, great guess. Is it I don't even know. What is it?
The biggest movie of last year, Barbie, ladies and
Barbie.
right, fuck.
Fucking Barbie. Dang it.
gentlemen.
All right. According once again to my exhaustive research online, when Halloween, the movie, original movie, John Carpenter, when Halloween premiered in Italy, what name did it go by?
Ooh.
Hmm.
Yeah, I was very
Season of
surprised
the
on this.
Witch.
Incorrect.
I'll just go with the alternative.
Good guess.
The alternate title they had, which was the Babysitter Murders.
Incorrect. I don't think you guys will ever get it, but if you want
No,
another shot, go
I
for
don't
it.
think
No.
I will. La Halloween.
Ill Halloween.
Hell, Halloween. So Halloween, apparently, I don't know if it's changed, but wasn't popular in Italy at all. So Halloween as a title wouldn't make sense. So they called it Witches' Night,
Oh, okay.
which also doesn't
I
make
was
sense
close
to the
with
plot.
Season of the Witch.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're close. You're in the ballpark.
Yeah.
Ballpark for sure.
All right, final question. Probably the easiest of my questions tonight, so
Okay.
you should be quick on this one. A
Sam
franchise, a franchise you guys have probably heard of. In Hocus Pocus
Oh boy,
2,
just watched it. No.
Oh, no.
Not the-
Start once.
Winifred flies on a broom.
Yes.
Yes.
Mary flies on two Roombas.
Yes.
Yes.
What does Sarah fly on?
A Swiffer.
Correct.
Wow, I was gonna
It's
say mop, but I thought that was too
it's a
easy.
Swiffer wet jet technically, but I'll accept
Well,
Swiffer.
I
Thank
mean,
you.
judges,
Thank you.
I'm accepting Swiffer. That was the key word I was looking for.
Thank you. Thank you.
Swiffer, good
Thank you.
tool to have.
Yes.
All right, is that it?
Well, there's some free bonus questions from
Oh,
Yes,
free,
I just have a couple of for fun
point
ones
free.
point free.
since it is Halloween. We have a couple more Halloween questions I have for you
Okay.
guys. So, number one, according to the U.S. Census Bureau,
Oh,
yes,
Steve knows it
of
well.
all people,
less
so
accurate than Google,
Yes.
but we'll take it.
how many potential trick-or-treaters
Oh
are
boy.
there?
Jesus.
And I will say they're using the ages between 5 and 14 years, which I don't think is very fair because I
So
know
it,
1, 2, 3, and 4 year olds definitely go trick-or-treating as well. But
I
how
know.
many potential trick-or-treaters are there?
So essentially, is it how many kids between 5 and
Not
14
necessarily,
are out
because
there?
Basically,
I'm gonna go 30 million.
I was just go for like 30,
30
40 million too.
million.
So I'll go 45 million.
I think it's 30 million and 45. Todd is closest with the answer
Nice.
of 41
41
million
million.
children.
Okay. Well, I
And
hope I get a
my
couple hundred
other.
here at least.
Bora will be well fed. Yeah.
So
Bursting at the seams.
most of us know the most popular Halloween candy amongst children
Hmm.
is Reese cups.
Yes.
But do you know, according to YouGov's 2021 survey,
Oh.
of course, what is the most popular adult Halloween candy? So what are the
Well,
adults loving?
if they're talking to me alone, I always still the Reese's Cups. So I don't know how that
I
would
would
not
agree
be
with the
the
Reese
answer.
cups, but it is not the Reese cup.
I would
That's
say
weird.
just by what I've seen out there, I would say Kit Kat.
Kit Kat? Oh,
Kit
I love
Kat.
Kit
Kit
Kat,
Kat. I
especially the
love Kit
Canadian ones
Kat
too.
too.
Well, if it's not those, I guess I'll go with something stupid like candy corn just because they're trying to throw everyone off,
It's
probably.
not candy corn, although candy
Good.
corn was the worst, considered the
Ugh.
worst Halloween
Yeah.
candy voted on.
No shit.
It is actually, and this is a bit of a surprise to me, but I guess not because it's just so generic. The M&M
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
is
I
the
mean, I like
most
a good
popular
peanut
adult.
M&M.
I mean, who doesn't love M&Ms, I
Yeah,
guess, you know.
I'm down with it.
That's all I got for you guys. So happy Halloween, everyone.
Happy Halloween.
So what's our point total, Todd?
Oh, yes. So Joe with the big night, three-piece, and Steve and I tied at one, which brings us to myself still in the lead with nine, Joe in second with eight, Steve in third with six. But now we have 2 more months left, so see what happens.
It's gonna get intense.
Exciting.
Yeah.
And I'll get to that punishment movie.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I'm gonna fucking forget it by the
Day,
time he
Day of the
gets
Dead
to it.
2.
You know?
Yeah, send it to me because now that I'm on vacation, so after like Halloween on
Alright.
Thursday, I'll have time this week. I should have time this weekend to watch it. All right. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Todd and Steve, for your trivia questions this week. And now let's head into our main event of the evening. Let's start off with 2024's Carved, directed by Justin Harding, starring Peyton Elizabeth Lee, Corey Bogglemanis, Carla Jimenez, Jorah Lees, Wyatt Linder, and DJ Qualls. Plot: a group of survivors find themselves trapped in a historical reenactment village on Halloween, where they must unite to battle a sentient, vengeful pumpkin. Todd,
Yes.
that was, I'd say that was pretty to the point of what we get in
Mm,
this movie,
mhm.
but I want more.
A little
I
bit
just
more?
want more, Todd. So
You want a
give
little
it to
flavor?
us,
You want a little spice on that?
please. A little pumpkin
A
spice,
little, ooh, okay. We all know you and Steve can tear up a pumpkin beer. So
maybe.
let's
Indeed.
not get started here. Yeah, so we open up on a blood-soaked, gore-filled little room, right? We got severed heads, we got severed arms and shit. And they just littered the area. Like, what happened here? I don't know. There's this dude. He has a camera. Like, is he a cameraman? Is he a reporter? What's going on here? And he grabs a camera. He's like, it killed them all. What killed them all, dude? Well, if we read the synopsis, we know it killed them all. Fucking vengeful pumpkin jack-o'-lantern guy, right? But we don't know that yet. We didn't read the synopsis. I didn't read it. I just went in blind. And he's like walking around. He's got the camera. He gets a knife. He pulls out of a guy's head, things like that. And then suddenly he is killed by an unseen creature, but we see kind of like a tentacle kind of thingy come out, right? And then we kind of show inside a barn. We see people like looking at him, like, "Oh God, that guy got killed. What are we gonna do?" Then we flash back, right, to early in the day, and we learn that they're having this big old, fall pumpkin patch festival thing where we got a corn food truck. We got I think he's the mayor of the city, DJ Qual or something. He's getting interviewed by the guy we just saw in the beginning holding the camera. The guy was a reporter, and he keeps asking hard-hitting questions like, what did you guys do about the train derailment that spilled all those chemicals? Uh-oh, chemicals. Did they maybe bring a jack-o'-lantern to life, perhaps? I don't know. We'll see. And then flash forward a little bit more, and then they're at a pumpkin carving contest where one of the gentlemen grabbed this weird ass deformed looking pumpkin earlier, brings it to the carving contest. When he hacks into it, it awakens, and then we have a bloodbath, right? Now we follow the characters as they try to survive the night. We are introduced into I don't know, maybe like young 20s couple that are like aspiring actors, and one of them like gets a part to move to New York, didn't tell the girlfriend. She's pissed off. She's got a little brother that ha kind of has like special needs. He has like really bad anxiety or something like that. So we have to follow that. And we follow them as they, like I said, try to survive. Dude, it starts off pretty damn cool. I love the opening. I was like, it grabbed me initially. I'm like, oh shit, this is cool. We got body parts and heads and things like that. However, it just slowed way down for me. I didn't like the characters at all, except for what's his name? Clint. Clint was a freaking legend. The guy that was in the food truck, the corn truck. Loved him. But yeah, I didn't like any of the characters, so I didn't care whether they lived or died. I checked out very early on in this film, which sucks. But there was some good stuff to it. But what did you guys think?
Yeah, so I mean, this was my pick, and I picked it solely just on the fact that it was a new Halloween movie that was out, and the plot sounded fun. Like it sounded pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, it was all right. Like I didn't love it, I didn't hate it. It just kind of exists. Like I don't like, will I forget about this in a couple weeks? Yeah, probably. Like it was fine. Like it was a fine watch. I think there's definitely some fun to be had here, but it's just to me it's just very forgettable, and I feel like I've seen this sort of formula like movie like a million times before, like especially Black was it Black Friday comes to mind, like about just like people trapped in this thing trying to survive. Also what's that other one? That one in Salem on Halloween that
Oh
was
yeah, I
pretty
forgot. What
bad.
was that title? I forget that one. Something,
Mass
something.
hysteria, mass hysteria. Yeah, like I feel like it's like all those movies, like it's like I've seen this movie like a million other times before. The comedy hits sometimes, it doesn't hit other times. I didn't love the design of the jack. It just like was like a spider like jack-o'-lantern type thing going on. I think they could have did way better with the design. But I mean, I liked like some elements of it. Like I liked that he was like coming out for revenge of the people who were carving the pumpkins. I thought that was pretty funny. I thought DJ. I always like DJ Qualls like in pretty much anything. I always find him to be pretty funny. So I liked his role. I didn't dislike any of the characters like Todd. Like I didn't find any of them like unlikable really. I thought they were all, pretty okay in their roles, but they were also like no one like I connected with either. So like I didn't really care like who lived or who died at the end of the day. So yeah, I mean, to me, like it was an okay one-time watch, but nothing I'll ever recommend or care about ever again.
So I guess I'll be a little different from you guys. I had a lot of fun with this one. It kind of reminds me of the stuff I watch on Tubi. Now, it's funny because I watched this on Disney Plus. I'm assuming you guys watch it on Hulu. Because it's on Disney Plus or Hulu, it's almost like my expectations go higher because, whereas on Tubi I'd be like, oh, cool, they made like this fun little thing and it's like a hidden gem. But I have like a different like barometer when it comes to like one of the more, I guess, mainstream sites. But I still had a blast. I thought the kills were really cool. There was a lot of cool practical gore effects. Sure, the CG didn't look the best, especially with the pumpkin, some of the pumpkin stuff when he's moving around and stuff. But I had fun with it, man. It's just it didn't take itself too seriously. Although when it did take itself seriously, that's when it kind of lost me a little bit. Like they have some deaths that are a little too sappy for my, it just wasn't the movie to really have those kinds of scenes, in my opinion. But I thought there were some fun moments. I was never really bored all that much because they move from place to place pretty quickly. They really kept it fresh with the gore as well. Like, at some points he's the pumpkin's like stabbing people and raising up in the air and then prison style stabbing them, and he's cutting off heads, and he's like wearing one of the characters at one point, like using one almost as a jack-o'-lantern. I thought it was pretty clever, and like the whole plot about it's basically revenge for them carving pumpkins. I thought, it's a simple plot, but it worked for this movie. Now, would it be something I'd watch, on Halloween every year? And absolutely not. But it's one I'd probably watch again if I saw it somewhere and I'm like, oh, it's been a few years since I've seen this. Maybe I'll pop this one back in because I think it brings the spirit of the season really well, in my opinion.
Mhm. Now, is there any other? I don't know why they chose this movie to be in 1993, other than that one joke. That I think it's like they wrote that one joke about does anyone have a cell phone? And she says, "What do you think? We're millionaires or something like that." Like, other than that, like I would have had no idea that this didn't take place in current time.
Yeah, that's a good point. I completely forgot that it did.
Yeah.
I think it's for the same reason that in some movies they give people accents for absolutely no fucking reason, even if they can't pull it off. Maybe he's just like the director's just nostalgic for that time because that's when he was a kid or she was. I don't know who directed this. I forgot who he said, but for whoever they directed it, it was maybe that was their childhood and they just wanted to put it like based on that time, and they also because it was 93 had to use technology that time to kind of escape, right? So the entire end sequence is basically with walkie-talkies, which wouldn't be needed if they had phones. So maybe it was needed that it was in the 90s just to have sequences like that. I guess they could have adapted it with phones, but it just gave it like a different flavor than a lot of the movies out there now.
Mhm. The director, Steve, Justin Harding. Actually, I'm looking at his filmography, his directography, and it says this is actually based on a 5 minute short he did in 2018 by the same name. But Steve, you might know him from a TV series that had 114 episodes, and he directed 16 episodes of them. A TV show called Canada's Worst Driver. I don't know
Oh,
if you're familiar with
yeah,
this show or not.
I am.
Okay.
That it's literally a show where they make people drive and they like if you're too good, they kick you off. It's funny because the final like test is in my hometown because my hometown is probably one of the hardest cities to drive in the world. It's fucking mountains and snow and construction and science. It's crazy and it's just funny to see people trying to navigate it. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, that's weird. It's a reality show. But I
Yeah.
guess you got to get your start somewhere, right? Like
Hmm.
people who go into film school, they take whatever they can and try to learn some different skills. So I respect the grind, and I always like to see people's like shorts come to life later. Like we've gotten some pretty good stuff because of people. I mean, Terrifier, right?
Oh
I mean,
yeah.
they came off a short, so yeah, it's pretty cool.
Hmm.
So, what were some
And
of your favorite like memorable kills in the movie?
I
ooh,
like the reporter's
I'm trying.
death. I thought that was pretty well done.
Yeah.
The prison shank? Is that
Was
was it
that?
Was it
him?
a prison shank?
Yeah, where he like lifts them in the air and like fucking
Yeah,
shanks
Oh
them in the
yeah,
back
yeah.
yeah,
like multiple
Yep.
times.
that's pretty neat.
Yeah. Yeah. I just like the whole fucking obviously I think probably most of everyone's favorite is just when the pumpkin actually comes to life during the carving scene. He just goes fucking ape shit on everyone up at the table there. I thought that was awesome. Obviously. But yeah, I agree. I think the gore in this movie is pretty great. Like they were not afraid to hold back on it. And I think that's definitely the highlight of this movie is there's some really solid kills throughout.
Yeah, I agree. That's going to be the highlight for me is when they went practical. It was pretty neat. And like I said, I love that opening scene. I thought that was really well done. It's
Hmm.
just the stuff in between was didn't really do it for me. Like I know Steve mentioned the walkie-talkies and things, but I'm like, it kind of went on too long with
The
like
walkie-talkie
him
shit went
flinging it.
on way too long.
Yeah, your slingshot and the walkie-talkies trying to distract the jack-o'-lantern. It's like, all right, we've seen it. And then I agree too. I like DJ Quells a lot. Breaking Bad, his small character is pretty funny as a detective. Yeah, his partner gets killed up in that room and blah blah blah. It's just a lot of the sequences that didn't really matter kind of went on a little bit too long for me.
Hmm. Yeah. Also, Chris Elliott makes an appearance in this as
He does,
Silver
yeah.
King,
The
who
the
I know him best as Woogie and Something About Mary, but he's
of
like a
course.
He's a great
What's with
character
his
actor
accent
in
though?
general. Yeah, he
It's
has a
trying to
really weird
hide.
accent in
Like,
this movie as well, but it was a treat. It was a treat, honestly, to see him in this one as well. I thought he
Also,
was pretty funny.
is he the infamous little hand guy from Scary Movie 2?
He is. He is indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He's
Yeah,
great.
he's a great character actor.
hmm I agree though, Steve, about the sappiness part. Man, there's like Barb's death in particular when she dies and she gives this whole fucking speech about like, oh, I'll be up there like with your parents and stuff like that. It's just like that did not fit into the rest of. You're right. It really didn't fit really into the rest of this movie at all. Because if you are gonna go that way, like I feel like you really needed to maybe show the chemical explosion at the beginning of the movie and maybe like the after like show that sort of
I thought that would have
aftermath.
been good too.
Yeah, like I think that would have been cool and probably would have had a bigger impact on sort of seeing what the characters went through rather than just sort of it's kind of like a throwaway line. And I don't know if that's budgetary reasons or whatever. Most likely it was. But I think that would have been actually pretty cool to see at the beginning of this movie. I think he could have did it like in a smart way. Just show like a train like derailed some way somehow with some like dead bodies, and I think you get a way more impactful thing like when, especially in Barb's death anyway. If you're gonna get into the sappy shit.
I agree. And the whole thing with the kid, I didn't really love either because they got a little too serious with him. Like he
Mm-hmm.
had like high anxiety and stuff like that, and the girl's boyfriend had to like calm him down. And the whole scene where he finds out that they broke up, like it's really not the time for this, like it just didn't feel like it was needed for this particular story. Just focus on the fun, the kills and everything, and I think you would have a better film overall. But I will say one thing that was cheesy as fuck, but I still popped for it, was when Flute Girl comes back.
Ah, yes.
You know?
You knew that she was coming back,
Oh
right?
yeah,
I feel
because they
like that
killed her
was
off
so
screen.
obvious. Yeah.
Yeah, if they kill you off screen, that's
hmm
that's always a sign. But I
Flute
hate.
boner girl, by the way, we should
Yeah.
mention. He
Oh,
got a
the
big
kid.
boner.
Yeah. That was a funny scene. Yeah.
Yeah, and I love the fucking like Clint dude. He's funny and everything, like Stranger
What,
Things
what
and
do
all that.
I? Is that what he's from? Okay,
Yeah, he's
he's
the
in
arcade
Family
guy.
Video. Oh,
Yeah,
is he
and
arcade guy?
well, he's both. He's in
Okay,
the arcade in season 3 and in the video store in season 4.
gotcha. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's his character is pretty funny.
yeah,
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
hilarious.
he was super funny. Yeah, just like especially like when they find him in the truck after he ate all the mushrooms and he's just like he's swallowing his own puke and shit like that. And
What's he say?
R.I.P.
Like
though.
he
He actually
passed
has a
away?
pretty good. Yeah, he dies. No, I mean
In the
like
mo-
in
in the
the
Oh,
movie, in the
movie.
well, you
movie.
can't
Yeah,
say R.I.P. to him,
yeah.
fucking Joe.
R.I.P. in the
Oh,
movie.
to Clint, not the actor.
Yeah,
Okay.
to Clint. Yeah,
Well, like, doesn't he say like my career in corn is over or something like that? Like when he gets fired.
yeah, he does. Yeah. But that was cool. When the pumpkin pretends to be him, like it's
I
like
love that.
walking around. That part was pretty fucking cool. I'll give the movie that for sure. That was a great scene, and his father sees him, and he's like, "Oh, Clint, what are you doing? Fucking around." And yeah, and then we get the baby pumpkins towards the end of the movie too, which were adorable. I
I
gotta
did like
say
that
for
scene.
toxic. That
I,
was
I
cool.
yeah, when they gather them all up and run them over with like a lawnmower, that was pretty
hmm
cool. I like that.
Yeah. It was cool. I wish we got some more with them though. Like I wish they kind of attacked too. I think that would have been cool. Like I know they were
It'd
still
been a
kind of
cool
young,
finale.
but yeah, it would have been cool. That's another complaint I have with the movie is that like the ending is very lackluster. Like I feel like there's no like big like epic showdown with this sort of pumpkin. They sort of dispose of it rather easily, which I guess it is just sort of a pumpkin you can sort of shoot and kill. But I wish we got something better with the finale and like the defeat of sort of the pumpkin.
I agree. I think, yeah, a more explosive finale, and the explosive finale should have been the tiny pumpkins like just wrecking fucking house and
Yeah, that would have been fun.
setting up a sequel. Like kill everyone. Why not?
hmm
It's supposed to be a fun movie. Kill everyone and have the pumpkins like going towards a town or something. Like just I think that would have been a better ending personally.
hmm And of course, it leaves it open for a potential sequel. So I think Todd is definitely out on a
Oh,
sequel. But Steve, you seem to be the most positive on this. Like, would you be down for
not only
multiple
is he
or at
down,
least
he's
one
back in
more?
it.
I would back it. Yeah, no, it's honestly like I wouldn't like rush to it, but if it's free on Disney Plus again, yeah, I'll definitely check it out. Like, why not?
I would too, honestly. I mean, I think I had enough fun with this one where I'd be like, yeah, fuck it, I'll watch a second one of this. So why not? I'll watch
Oh,
another Spider Pumpkin.
another cool kill that I wrote noted is at one point he makes someone choke on his own blood, so he cuts his hand off and puts the stump in his mouth, so
Oh,
he
that's
chokes on
right.
the blood.
Yeah.
That's like
Yeah.
they really like tried to do stuff that was different, and I appreciate it for that.
Hmm.
Yeah, but like you guys have said, they should embrace that the whole it should have just been a silly, stupid movie without any heart at all. Just have characters being brutally murdered. And I love the idea. I think you said it, Steve, or whatever, of them like killing everybody and then them marching off to like a big city with big city lights in the background. That would have been sick, dude. But instead we got like we have breakaway scenes. Like we want to see Jack-o'-lantern killing people, and then we have these breakaway scenes of the kid having a panic attack, which I know happens in real life and people are, affected by that. But does it need to be in the fucking killer Jack-o'-lantern movie? Not at all. Do we need to
Yeah.
have the drama of, oh, you're an actor and you're going to New York and you weren't going to tell me? I was going to tell you, but we don't need that in this movie. Jack-o'-lanterns, killing people, easy formula, stick to that. But
Yeah, I agree. It should just be kept it to the mindless, just funny, like dumbness of that 90% of this movie is, and just cut out the sappy shit. And I agree. I think you have a better movie, but alas, this is the movie we got, folks. And yeah, I think we're pretty much
rate
there.
this
Oh,
fucker.
also want to mention Arthur, who makes a short appearance in this, who is like the Vietnam Korean War or whatever he is,
Oh
dude,
yeah, right.
veteran, who's like talking about like telling
It was
people.
so obvious he was gonna get the Sam Jackson moment from fucking
Yeah.
Deep Blue
Yes.
Sea,
Yeah.
but it is still entertaining,
Yeah. That was a good line too, where she's like, "Wait, how many people did you kill or whatever?"
right?
He's all like worried about him. But that was a pretty good line too. But all right, gentlemen, I think that pretty much wraps it up for our first review of Carved. I'll start us off. Yeah, man. I mean, like I said, I didn't hate it. I think there's definitely some fun to be had here. Is it something, like I said, it's not going to be something I'm going to watch every Halloween, but I kind of agree with Steve. I think, if someone threw it on, I wouldn't hate myself for sitting and watching it again. So I'm at a 2.5 out of 5 on it.
All right, I did not like it at all, apart from the gore and the practical effects. But I'm still gonna give it a 2 out of 5. I didn't like absolutely hate it. I just thought it wasn't a great movie. But like I said, I like the gore and the effects, and appreciated that they had a jack-o'-lantern as a slasher. That's pretty cool.
And I'm a slightly higher than you guys. I give it a 3 out of 5. This is the type of shit I look for when I'm just like looking at Tubi images and stuff like that. Killer Pumpkin that goes on a rampage. I'm all in for movies like this. Was it amazing? No, but I thought it was pretty cool to watch, and I'm glad I watched it.
Alrighty. And what do our friends over at Letterboxd have to say about this one? Currently sitting at a 2.2 out of 5 average over on Letterboxd. So they are definitely trending more towards our friend Todd on this
I
one.
just don't feel Hulu is like the audience for a movie like this. Like
True.
this should be on Shudder
This
or
is
Screenbox or Tubi.
To Be Original. Yeah, To Be
Yeah.
Original. This has To Be Original written like all over it, I feel like.
Or Screenbox and Shutter because
Yeah,
I think it's
sure.
enough quality to do that, you know.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's just the wrong audience, I think.
True, true. Yeah, because this was I saw it was a Huluween original movie is
Right.
what they're calling it, which apparently that's a thing now.
Yeah, there's another one I want to watch, Mr. something. I forget what the name of
Oh
it.
yeah, that one actually looks pretty cool. Mr. Crocker, I
Something
think
like
it
that.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that on my list to
Yeah, me too.
watch next. It looks pretty interesting. I heard it's sort of like
Mr. Crockett.
Mr. Crockett, yeah.
Yep.
I heard it's almost like someone said it was like akin to Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, where it's like really
Hmm.
fucking bizarre. And I love that. I loved that YouTube series. All right, let's get into our second movie of the night, 2024's Salem's Lot, directed by Gary Dauberman, starring Lewis Pullman, Mackenzie Lee, Alfre Woodard, Bill Camp, and Spencer Treat Clark. Plot: an author returns to his hometown of Jerusalem's Lot in search of inspiration for his next book, only to discover that the townspeople are being attacked by a bloodthirsty vampire. Todd,
Yep.
what'd you think about that plot synopsis?
Well, it gives the whole thing away. I
It
think they should
does.
have left it a little bit vague and not say it was a bloodthirsty vampire.
True, but I mean, I
Because
feel like most people probably know what Salem's Lot is about
yeah,
because,
but
like,
what is?
there's a TV, a book, there was a movie. But
Right.
I think you can give us a little more.
And we'll get into it too. Like, who is this movie for? Is it for the crowd that doesn't know a single thing about the book, the original one? I don't know.
Mm.
We'll see. But Ben Mears, he's a I don't know, younger man that's played by Lewis Pullman from Strangers 2
Bill
fame.
Pullman's son?
It
Bill
is.
Pullman's son.
Yes.
Yep.
Greatest president of all time. So
You know what? He belongs in the air.
yeah,
You
he
know what I mean?
does.
Let the guy
Yeah.
fucking fly his fighter jet. Last known survivor of the free. It doesn't make sense, but it's fucking awesome movie. Anyway, so
Also,
Lewis,
should I, Steve, have you put in the number of how many William Sadler movies this is for us now?
it's gotta be four now,
Just
right?
this year, I think it's four.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
hey,
my nut.
don't diss it, man. People still
He's great.
listen to like no joke. We get 300 listens a month on disturbing behavior
What the
still
fuck?
to
Why?
this day. So don't diss Mr. Sadler.
I wonder if it's like stuck on someone's fucking like Spotify and they can't turn it
No,
off.
yeah, it has to be unique hits. It's weird.
That's
It's
so
anyway,
strange.
it's insane that
Okay.
episode. FYI.
So yeah, anyway, Ben Mears, Lewis Pullman, he's a young man. He had a traumatic past where his parents passed away. He's coming back to Jerusalem's Lot because he's a writer and he's looking for a little inspiration, right? He feels like he misses the vision of the town that he has in his mind, and he wants to come back to see, if he can get some inspiration for his new novel. So he's kind of a fish out of water. He is a local, but not really treated as one, right? Meanwhile, we have this fucking weird, off-putting, that guy's definitely a predator. Straker, he opens up like this antique store in this bumfuck town. Dude, your store is not gonna succeed, man. You need to take this to fucking New York or LA or something like that, you little fucking weirdo. But he works for this mysterious guy named Mr. Barlow, right? And they bought the creepy house on the fucking hill that everyone's like, that house is haunted. There's murder's gone on there and shit like that. No one wants to go down there. It's fucking weird. And of course, now it's even weirder because Straker, like I said, little fucking creep. He owns it with his little mystery man there. So he tells a couple of shippers or day laborers, whatever you want to call them, like, "Hey, I got a important piece coming in. It's coming from the port. Take it up to the house, drop it in the cellar. Don't fuck with it, things like that." And oh, could it be the coffin of Mr. Kurt Barlow? I think it is. So we'll see what happens. Long story sh Oh, we also have another guy, a young man who just went to town. Sorry, moved to the town. A young boy named Mark, who is like really into Fangoria, dude. He'd be all our best friends at that age, right? He loves monsters, old school Hammer horror, things like that. Of course, he's gonna get picked on, but not today. Mark knocks out the fucking bully, and now he's like big man on campus, right? He befriends a couple kids, yada yada yada. Ben falls in love with a local girl that's a hottie. She's got an overbearing mother. The town's small. It's got its problems, and so on and so on. Yeah, I know. I don't know fully what this movie's for because I mean we covered Salem's Lot, a couple years back, the Toby Hooper one. I've read the book. I think you have too, Steve, right? Or no? So yeah, he has. He nodded his head. So this one doesn't bring anything new to the story, in my opinion. I think Barlow is more effective in the Toby Hooper version with a lot of the scenes, although I do love the vampire eyes in this one. The glowingness is really cool effect. I think it's shot well. Lewis Pullman, I like as an actor. Everything I see him in, he's really good. And I also think they kind of missed the mark on bringing the town alive. Like I didn't see like with the Stephen King, he always has everyone has a fucking backstory, right? And they show that really well in the Toby Hooper version, and obviously in the book. And in this one, I didn't really get that. Like, it didn't feel like the town was completely alive like in those other versions. So that was kind of a missed opportunity. But overall, I think it's a fine movie. There's some really effective scenes in it. Like I said, the vampires look pretty cool. I love the drive-in theater scene at the end where they all come out of it. That's really cool. And the characters are good. So overall, I enjoyed it, but kind of something I don't think I'll see myself watching again. But what do you guys think?
Yeah, so I mean, I don't think I'd ever seen Salem's Lot until we reviewed it. And if I had it, I definitely didn't remember much about it. And if you spoiler, unless you want to go back and listen to the other episode, I wasn't a huge fan of the original Salem's Lot. I thought it was just too long. With the miniseries version. So I was definitely open-minded going into this one because I didn't have the nostalgia or love that most people have for that original Salem's Lot. And I had never seen the who's that handsome devil who did the other Salem's Lot movie there?
Rob Lowe?
That Rob Lowe. Yes, I did not see the
Yeah,
Rob Lowe
I've never seen that one either.
version. I've never seen the Rob Lowe version of Salem's Lot either. So yeah, I mean, I was definitely interested, although a bit concerned because I know this movie went through a lot of sort of development hell and studio interference and stuff like that. But overall, man, I gotta say, I enjoyed this one quite a bit, more than I expected to, actually. I think it's acted great, for the most part. I think, there's a lot of great character actors in this one, and I think everyone does a really good job here, including our lead. Was it Ben? Is that his name? Ben Mears?
Ben Mears, yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was great. I liked sort of the relationship between them. I gotta agree with you 100% though, Todd. I think one thing that the Toby Hooper version did, that this one didn't, was bring the town alive. Like all the granted, it was so overlong, with bringing, talking, showing all these different characters in the town. It did help sort of, make you feel like you're a part of that town. Whereas in this one, like I never felt like I was like a part of a town really. It was sort of characters cherry picked from the town that we get here and there. But yeah, I also think, the movie's 2 hours, but I also felt like some stuff was rushed. Like, there's certain scenes, like especially like important scenes, like of course the iconic sort of tapping at the window scene felt so rushed. And it wasn't, they didn't like let it breathe, like and build tension with it. Like it was similar in some ways, but I think they needed to build a little more tension, with that scene in particular. I think Barlow's cool in this one, but he doesn't have like an iconic moment like I feel like he did in the miniseries version. I also felt Straker was completely wasted in this movie. Like he was kind of just sort of there, and really wasn't an important part of the narrative as much as I feel like he probably should have been. So yeah, man, I think they focused on some, wrong people here and there where they should have been focusing on other characters. But overall, man, I think the second half of this movie is pretty fantastic. Like I think once like it picks up, like it does not like let up to me. Like especially like the final 45 minutes, like we get into that church scene and then the finale scene at the movie theater, like that whole fucking is just, to me, I thought it was fantastic and it really raised this movie up to me, a lot. And like you said, the glowing eye vampires looked really fucking cool. And yeah, I'll shut up for now and let Steve go.
I had the same concerns as you guys, because we have seen the adaptation. I had read the book, and this movie, like Joe said, really went through developmental hell. It was supposed to release like a million times and never did. It was supposed to go in theaters, and they decided not to. So I was like, I don't know about this, but I'll watch it with an open. I even voted for it. I didn't even vote for my own movie in the fucking poll. I voted for Joe's because I'm like, Salem's Lot, I could watch that. And I got to be
Joe
honest,
had a
guys.
sweep? Oh, wow.
Uh, yeah, he did. I got to be honest with you guys. I fucking love this movie. Like, I really did. I had so much fun going through this, even at 2 hours. Like, one of my complaints about the '70s version of Salem's Lot is it. I felt that time, that runtime, man. It was long. There's a lot of periods where not a whole lot is going on. I didn't really feel that so much with this one. The cinematography is like way beyond what it should be for a movie like this. There's a scene where that dude from Game of Thrones is like chasing these kids in the woods, and it's shot in shadows, like it's facing the sky, and all you see is like everything's like in black, like a shadow, and you see two kids walking, and all of a sudden this creepy fucking guy walking behind them. You know it's him, but it was so well shot, and they do a lot of creative shots in this. I really appreciate the cinematography that went into this story. I thought the characters were fun. I agree that the town felt a little empty, but I wonder if that's what helped with the pacing because they don't have so many characters to kind of deal with and explain and backstory and all that stuff. It did feel empty, but at the same time, I don't know if it's necessarily needed for the story. Now, of course, some of the characters, like the cop, was rushed and everything like that. Although he had a really cool kill, in my opinion, and I love the first scene where he's like, basically, "Don't cause any trouble. I hate working." So I loved his like negative attitude. The kid who plays Mark was really fun. He had more balls than fucking anyone in this movie, and I love how they portray him, where he's always like wanting to kill Barlow. And Barlow, I thought was cool. I do agree that the Toby Hooper version was better and more memorable. I think Barlow should have been more important to the story. Like, I don't know, I felt like the threat was just vampires as opposed to Barlow, you know? It's just like he was just one of the stronger vampires, basically, where he should have been really kind of the end game for these characters. And Joe's right. The final 45 minutes, man, it's fucking crazy, and I love the shit out of it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I was this movie's I think gonna be underrated for sure. Like I just don't think a lot of people are gonna see it. I think people aren't gonna want to admit that it was good, at the end of the day, I think because a lot of people have a hard on for the Toby Hooper version, that, nothing can beat it. But I'm just gonna say it right now. I prefer this. I prefer
Would you
it
say you have a
over.
hard on for this movie?
I wouldn't say I have a hard on for this one because I
Like
mean
a half
the
stiffy
no,
kind of
I
thing?
mean the movie. Let's be honest. I mean the movie definitely has its issues. It's definitely not perfect, but if I'm comparing it to the Hooper version, I'll watch this one over it any day. Like I just, yeah, I as iconic as some of those scenes are, of course, in the Hooper version, of course, like the iconic tapping scene and when sort of Barlow's first sort of scene for the first time, which is
Like when he
fucking
appears out of
great.
nothing?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
which is awesome. Like those scenes are great, but there's so much meandering and just bullshit in that movie that I think people forget about, that they only remember sort of those iconic scenes. Whereas this one's still 2 hours, man. But I honestly never felt the runtime. Like I was never bored throughout this entire movie. I think they did a pretty solid job of building characters, the characters that mattered anyway. Although we don't get in deep into, I guess, the townspeople, I think all the characters they did focus on was really great. In particular, Matt Burke, character played by Bill Camp, who was the teacher. I thought he was really great. I also liked Father Callahan, who was sort of the alcoholic priest as well. I really liked his sort of arc and where they go with him. All the kids are really solid. Even Dr. Cody, which apparently rabies can a rabies vaccine is able to cure vampirism? Question
You heard it
mark.
here.
We'll have to get into that maybe in a minute here. But yeah, man, everybody. Spencer Tree Clark, who plays Mike Ryerson. But yeah, man, everybody was great. But why did they not focus on Straker enough? Can we talk about this? Like, why do you feel like he was sort of neglected, where he was such a big part of like the I'm assuming the book, right? Like
Oh
in
yeah, he's
and in
he's
the movie and like
he's his
for
right-hand man, literally.
and right. And then in this one I feel like he's just sort of uh a thought and like mostly forgotten character. Like yeah, he's brought in here and there, but not that great.
Yeah. He does have that amazing scene that Steve referenced in the woods. That was fucking cool.
That was
What
great, yeah.
what did we see him in within the last few years? Not Game of Thrones, something else where he like takes a
Yeah.
girl on a date.
Yeah, he was like in a vampire movie, where yeah,
Was
Well,
it
he
was it
he
was he a
was in Game of
vampire?
Thrones. He was
Yeah,
yeah,
in
yeah, not yeah, Game of Thrones, but
Game.
what was that movie where he took a girl on a date and like abused her and then chased her for like the entire film? Was that him?
yeah, that was like 2 years ago. Yeah, I remember that. I
Yeah.
don't remember what it was, but yeah.
So anyway, like he's a really effective creep. Like he plays a good creep, and I agree. Like utilize the guy. Like utilize
Run,
him.
sweetheart, run.
Run, sweetheart, run. There you go.
Mhm.
And one thing that I really liked was when just after the forest scene, he kidnaps a kid and he takes him back to Barlow like to feed him as like the first sacrifice, a young boy. I thought that scene was really effective because one, it's like really dark, and shit like that. He throws him on the ground in there and then just he fucking ravages them essentially off screen, but you get a lot of blood. Really cool scene.
Yeah, they did not hold back, man. It wasn't as fucking brutal as like Doctor Sleep style, but like it was still like a scene where like the kids screaming, like there was, not it was they weren't afraid to go there or sort of hold back. And I really enjoyed that scene as well. And Steve mentioned the cinematography. That is a great scene where like you sort of see the whole, like his eyes looking through, and then the camera pans in like you're in the bag, like looking through his eye, and you sort of see Barlow coming down the stairs holding, I think he's holding like a candelabra or something like that, and it's fucking great. Yeah, that whole scene is fantastic.
Yeah, this movie really wasn't afraid to go there, and I
Mhm.
respected for it. And if you didn't know the story, which we did, but if you didn't know the story, you're probably surprised at some of the deaths in this movie. Like the girlfriend, for example. Like I would not have thought that she would die, and that was kind of brutal. And the kid was definitely brutal. It happens pretty early in the movie as well. Usually, that kid would just be essentially kidnapped for like future use, but and they would save him or something. But no, they're like, no, we're fucking going there, and I definitely respect it for that. It was
Yeah, and then his brother too in the hospital, he's dying slowly, and they show that completely. And then they have hard cuts to like them in the cemetery burying them. I'm like, gosh, they're not holding back on any of the fucking fuck you moments to the kids. But yeah, Ben Mears and his girlfriend, like Steve said, you wouldn't expect her to get, turned and then essentially killed. And then I really like the teacher too. He felt like an actual teacher, which is cool. And my question about the priest, why didn't his faith work when he was attacked?
because I think he's just losing faith
He
himself,
Losing
right?
lacks
faith.
faith.
Because
Okay.
Yeah,
yeah,
Barlow says it. Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
He's like, I think Barlow says like it's sad to see like a man lose his faith or whatever like that.
but
Which
then
what
normal
did you
characters could wield the power of the cross. That you would think
if you
the
have
priest
faith,
would be more
right? If
effective, I
he
guess.
might not have had the faith, right? He was losing his faith. He was obviously an
Mm,
alcoholic.
okay.
Perhaps he just, he just because you're a man, just because you have, a
He kicks
priest
ass for the
outfit,
Lord, dude.
yeah, just because you have that outfit on doesn't mean, you have to believe it, right? And I think
All right,
Barlow
all right.
saw through him, which I thought that was a cool scene.
yeah. Joe, do you now regret not keeping the Bambox item of the two sticks with tape?
Not at all. No, I mean, I know we do see it. It makes sense now, I guess, after watching this movie, right? Because I didn't remember it at all in the original. Or was it based off just this one? I don't
No, it was
remember.
the original two.
Okay, the original too.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't regret it. I mean,
I
it's still a stupid ass item.
it is, but I like that the powers only activated when the stick would like
Yeah,
glow,
the
and I thought
glow is
that
fucking cool.
it was a cool effect. Like
Yeah,
it's kind of ridiculous when you think about it, but it looked great for some reason in
it
this
did.
movie, and they really did a good job of using light in general, like we talked about the cinematography, but and you guys said it as well, the eyes, it was so creepy. Like you could just have, there are scenes where they're just like going outside in the dark, and you just see like two sets of eyes, like of people like just standing on the building. They're not doing anything. They're just standing on the roof,
Right.
like looking at them. But it was fucking creepy because of those goddamn glowing eyes, and I thought they did a good job of utilizing that. And the further we got into the movie, the more vampires there are and the more glowing eyes there are in the city. And I thought that was fucking cool. It was a really cool,
Yeah.
like creepy effect that just kept escalating all the way to the end.
Mhm.
Was he in the treehouse too at one point and besieged by vampires?
Yeah, all
Yeah.
kid vampires
That was sick, yeah.
trying to get him, which is really cool. What did you guys think of, some of the more the tapping, the window tapping scene, right? I want to mention this because it was a scene I think could have been done better. But I mean, what did you guys think about it? Iconic in the original movie. Did you think it was effective in this one?
See, I think what they were thinking, and I'm just assuming here, of course, is we're not going to beat that scene.
Right.
So why are we going to try to replicate it? It's just not going to hold up to such an iconic scene, right? So we'll focus our energy on other stuff, which they did, and
Yeah,
really made it creepy.
fair.
They put it in the movie because it's an important part of the book, but I think they just basically accepted that we're not going to be able to replicate something as cool as this, so let's not even like go there. We'll just put it in and just put our scary focus on other stuff because people will expect it from this scene.
Hmm. What about the rabies shot?
Oh, it's lame.
Like,
It's just lame. Come on,
but
there's
like
no other way
why?
around it.
Like there's right. It just felt like it. That is one scene in particular I really didn't like because I'm like, make it make sense. Like, why does a rabies shot? And then they never explain it. Like, it just never like goes anywhere. It's never used again. Like, right? It's just a way to keep her alive. Yeah, didn't love it.
It was lame. Just filler at the end of
Yeah.
the day. I did like that scene though where and I think it was in that same scene where they pull like a cloth around the vampire's face
Yeah, that was cool.
as trying to attack it. There's a lot of
Yep.
cool stuff like that in here, man.
Hmm.
It's just like I'm coming back to my one of my original points is like, who is this film for? It's not for King fans because it doesn't follow the book closely at all because they
Hmm.
leave all the characters out. Is it for remake fans of a 70s film? I don't think so. Or is it for
No,
just a new generation?
I
For
would
new
say a new
generation, I think it,
generation.
yeah,
Yeah, I would say so, right? Like
yeah, I don't
the
know.
movie's old enough, right? That's what I'm saying. Like it makes sense to remake a movie like this because that movie came out what?
Not American Psycho.
Was it late 70s?
Yeah, I feel like it was
Something
79
like
or
that.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it makes sense now at this point to remake that to this movie, and I would say it's for the new generation, sort of the it generation, I guess, right? Because it is like a group of young kids, sort of, and the young kid is the hero at the end of the day, him and um,
Ben,
Mark, Ben,
Ben and Mark.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like they saved the day at the end. But yeah, I agree. Like they weren't the two I expected. I don't think to survive. I agree with Steve. Like I expected the girlfriend character to survive, but she doesn't. And
Yeah.
yeah, but I mean I like them. It was a good, and man, the finale's fucking great. Like the drive-in scene is so cool. The fact the twist we find out all the vampires are living in the back of the trunks of the cars as coffins, I thought was such a cool idea. It was really awesome. And
That'd
I
be fucking
fucking
hot in those trunks, though,
yeah,
man.
man, but they're dead. They can't. They
It's
don't give a
still hot.
shit. They're dead. They don't feel. Um, but one scene I fucking loved in particular, obviously, like, okay, one thing I didn't like, we can get into this whole finale. Man, I love that idea, but one thing, I'll get into what I like in a second, but one thing I really didn't like was the mom character, like coming with the shotgun. Didn't love that. Didn't love that whole sort of angle they went with. It seemed a little corny to me
I
in
think
an otherwise great movie.
I think it could have been cool, but the only like established, scene that sets that up is you see them looking through the store like from afar,
Mhm.
and she's like dancing with the guy, right?
Yeah,
And that's really it. It's just she's horny for that guy, so she follows
right.
him blindly. I mean,
It happens.
yeah, following people
It
blindly
happens to the
is
best
a
of us,
big
man.
theme these days, but it's just yeah, I agree. Although it does pay off
She gets
when
fucking destroyed by
Mark
that car.
fucking mows her down.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay, I'll accept it for that.
right.
Yeah. I love the scene where it's like they're coming out of the trunks and the sun is
Mhm.
slowly encroaching
Yeah.
or like retreating. So like it shows more and more trunks available to have vampires pop out. That was really neat.
Yep. And it was so cool how they get defeated when what's the kid's name? I
Mark,
keep Mark. When
Mark.
Mark fucking takes out the fucking screen
yeah,
to let the sun come in, that was so fucking cool. And then man, I loved like you said, just the sun like going back, and where it's the coolest was when they pull Barlow's coffin out to defeat him, and sort of you see that rush against time with the sun slowly setting and it keeps getting darker and darker. Man, that was just such a cool shot and such a cool scene in general. And I'll let you guys talk, but there's one scene in particular, which cinematography wise, my absolute fucking favorite shot of the entire movie towards the end here.
yeah. Well, it's really again like their use of light in this whole
Hmm.
movie was brilliant. We talked about the eyes, we talked about the crucifixes, we talked about the shadows. Then there's of course like this with the sun coming and like you feel the time running out because you see the sun like retreating. And then I'm assuming the shot you're talking about is that the one in front of the projector?
Yes,
Yeah.
love that shot with Barlow, like when the movie theater screen, comes on and you see Barlow standing up there with the light on him. Oh, it's so cool. He just looks so badass in that moment and just creepy. I mean, what do you guys think about Barlow in general here? Like he's such an iconic character, right, in the original and has such a cool, unique look. They didn't try to replicate it, which I appreciate. But I thought he had a really cool look in this one. I liked how he looked in this. I thought he looked pretty cool.
I agree. He looked cool. It was like close enough to the original where it was recognizable there was Barlow, but it was
Hmm.
also far enough where they did their own thing. Now I still like the Toby Hooper version better, but I
Hmm.
think it was fine. I think my issue is not so much his design; it was that he wasn't big enough of a character for the overall story. I think
Yeah.
his presence should have been felt more. throughout the film where he kind of just disappears here and there, like where
Yeah.
you don't really talk about him. And other than Mark, who's like constantly like, I gotta go kill Barlow, but I think he should have been more of a foreboding presence throughout the whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah, he definitely didn't feel like the biggest threat, right? Like, and I think that's definitely where I guess this movie drops the ball a bit.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think he looks a little bit better in Toby Hooper's because he's got that snaggletooth looking overbite going on. But in this one, he kind of reminds me a little bit too closely to 30 Days of Night, which is a pretty dang
Mm.
cool movie. But like I got that kind of like almost like he belonged in that universe too. So maybe he connected.
Mhm.
I don't know. That'd be cool. But yeah, I agree. That scene on top of the freaking screen is so fucking cool.
Yeah. And then another great shot is when he gets fucking defeated and they have the stake goes through his mouth and then they pull it out and you can see Ben through the hole, which is pretty fucking cool as well. And do you think he was defeated too easily? Or were you guys okay with that?
A little too easily, in my
Yeah.
opinion,
Like you
but
never see his power. Like
right.
I feel like we never see like Barlow's like full power and he's supposed to be the most powerful vampire and I just feel like we need a little more.
Yeah, he's defeated by a guy and a kid.
Yeah.
That's like not nothing too special, but it was a cool shot for what it was,
Hmm.
and there was a lot of cool like vampire shots. There's a double impaling at some point, and when
Hmm.
they burn up, it's a really cool effect, and when they're on fire and all that stuff, it's yeah. I mean, that last whole scene was just a lot of fun to watch.
Hmm.
Who
Yeah.
would win in a fight if we're basing it off kids that can kill vampires? We're going Fright Night Charlie versus Mark, Salem's Lot, 2024.
I feel Mark had
Yeah,
more
Mark has some
balls.
balls, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, kid has
Dang, you
fucking
guys fucking
balls.
love Mark, dude.
Yeah, dude, kid had balls. Like he stood up to the bully right off the bat
Yeah,
and
he knocked
fucking
his ass
yeah,
down
made
for
him say
sure.
uncle, and he
Classic
fucking
uncle.
yeah, classic
Have you
uncle
guys
game.
ever been in a situation where anyone has asked you to say uncle or seen it happen? I've never seen that happen.
No, never seen. Only in like
Only
movies and
Christmas Story,
TV
yeah.
shows, I think.
Maybe it was, what year was this movie set in?
Definitely
70s?
like
So,
60s,
so
50s. Those cars look old.
I think 70s because of the projector, right?
70s?
70s.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, if they're doing
maybe.
a drive-through, I don't think there was a. Yeah, no, yeah, it must have been. I'd say 70. I think it's probably
Okay.
set around the same time
Maybe
as
uncle was
it was. Yeah, it's
hip
more
back in there
right.
in the day.
Interesting. All right.
See, sounds like you guys fucking love this movie, dude.
No, I really liked it. Yeah, I
Me
mean,
too.
Top 10
I think
material?
It is for me right now.
Oh, wow.
I'd say near, if it makes my top 10, it'll be near bottom of top
Okay.
10, but definitely potential. I mean, I think I went in with such low expectations too that I think it really surprised me.
Final question for you
Um,
guys. Lewis
yeah.
Pullman, horror actor,
What else has he been in?
Strangers 2.
Oh, okay. That
I
Yeah,
movie,
mean,
let's go. Come on, bud. A
sure.
couple more under
Hey,
your belt. I'd meet him.
whatever.
Would you guys meet
Sure.
him?
yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I
I don't know
would.
if I'd get his autograph yet, but I
Yeah.
do have a Strangers 2 like autograph thing also. Maybe
You do? For
I
what?
do. Damien.
Oh, that's
Damien,
right.
our
Yeah,
boy Damien.
Friend
I got
of the
in
show.
like a bandbox or something.
Oh, cool.
Who
Yeah.
I just watched Stream today with Damien, and
Hmm.
I'll give my review of that next
Oh,
week, probably.
I do want to talk about my low key favorite scene. Well, like
Okay.
not real favorite scene, but one that I actually really loved. That's such a small moment. It's almost like the opposite of a Todd's gripe. It's maybe like Steve's pleasures. Is
oh, Steve's pleasures, dude.
it's the scene where Mark is like kicking the fucking bully's ass, and then it goes to the principal inside the school,
Oh yeah.
and he looks to the other window, and all the teachers are fucking ignoring it, just having
Yep.
like a smoke break, not doing their job, and the look on his face, like, God damn it, my
Yeah, he's
shitty
like,
stuff. I love that. It just made me laugh so much because yeah, sometimes yeah. So that's a Steve's pleasure scene.
Steve's sweets.
Steve
Yeah.
Sweets. I love it.
I guess my favorite scene that isn't horror related is when Ben's like banging her in his room
Oh.
and the old lady comes in and
Oh
is like,
yeah.
"Hi, Patricia," whatever her fucking name is. And she's like, thinks she's hidden and then she like melts into the floor
Right.
because she's embarrassed. That's very funny.
Yeah. Gary Dauberman, 2 for 2, would you say, as a horror director?
What was his first one?
His only other horror directing credit, Annabelle Comes Home.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yep.
I like that one.
Comes Home's really good.
He's written some good stuff, guys. He wrote Annabelle Comes Home. He wrote It Chapters 1 and Chapter 2. He also wrote Annabelle Creation.
Nice.
He wrote the original Annabelle, and then he
Oh, that's kind of
wrote
a stinker.
some of your favorites, The Nun 1 and 2.
Uh,
So yeah, we'll hit or miss as a writer,
Yeah.
but
he's batting like 500 though.
yeah,
Yeah,
It's
that's
pretty
pretty
good.
good.
Yeah.
yeah,
There's
pretty
some
solid.
those are big movies too. It's not like
Yeah,
fucking
Yeah, big time.
yeah.
yeah,
You know,
no.
that sucks though, because that was my one of my main points in my Letterboxd review is that you can tell it was meddled with, from producers or whatever it was. Like you can tell there's stuff on the cutting room floor, which I'd be interested to see a longer cut, to be honest, because I know like the
Hmm.
first one was kind of too damn
Director's
long.
cut.
Yeah, director's cut would be neat. I wonder what's
Hmm.
what's missing.
Yeah,
Yeah, which is crazy for a 2 hour movie that we feel that it could have been longer.
yeah.
Usually we're like going the other way. We're like, fucking movies should be 90 minutes, no more. And that just shows how like fun of a movie it was, you know?
Hmm. Yeah. Alrighty, gentlemen. Good review here on Salem's Lot. Went longer than I expected us to, honestly, talking about this one. But yeah, I think it was a solid movie. So yeah, I'll start us off with rating it. Yeah, man, I think this was a pleasant surprise to me, man. When picking it, I'm like, oh man, we might have after watching Carved, I was like, man, we might have two stinkers for our review tonight. But I don't think I think this one's good, man. I think it's gonna be an underrated one. I think one that's gonna fly under most people's radars. But I'm gonna say, go and watch it, folks. I think go in with an open mind. I think you'll enjoy this one. I think there's a lot of cool stuff in here. I mean, it's not perfect. Don't get me wrong. I mean, there's definitely some issues here, but I think it's a really solid horror movie. I think it's top 10 potential. Will it make top 10? I don't know about that, but we'll see. I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5.
All right, I'm coming in slightly lower. I'm a 3 out of 5. I think the movie's fine. It does what it does well. The stuff it does well, like the vampire stuff, the lighting, cinematography, things like that. But it does feel like there's a lot missing and it's a little bit rushed at the same time. So yeah, it's a fine movie. I also agree that if I had to pick a version to watch again, I would pick this one, not Toby Hooper's, because that one's just way too fucking long. But I think the vampire is much more freakier looking in Toby Hooper. So there's like some good and bad from both, but 3 out of 5.
See, last week people called me a grump because I didn't like Strange Darlings and Oddity. This week I'm the one that's high on movies, and I
Hmm.
give it a 4 out of 5. I
Well,
fucking really enjoyed this movie. It's almost guaranteed to be in my top 10. Depends what I watch the next 2 months, but it's pretty high up there. And I just had a lot of fun, and I would totally watch this again. And I probably will at some point. I don't. I'm hoping it gets like a Blu-ray or something because it's one of those streaming only ones. So we'll see about that. But yeah, I think people should definitely check it out. This is a sleeper. I think people are probably sleeping on this one. They shouldn't because it's a ton of fun.
and what do the folks over at Letterboxd have to say about this one? They don't agree with us, folks. Currently sitting at a very low 2.4 out of 5 over on Letterboxd, almost the same as Carved. So,
No,
yeah,
that's way different. Yeah, carved
most,
is not good.
yeah, most, yeah, very, very low, unfortunately. So people aren't agreeing with us, I guess, guys, on this one, but glad we all enjoyed it anyway. Alrighty. Well, that's it, folks. I hope you enjoyed our episode this week. Steve, we got movie club, don't we? Like tomorrow, if you're
Yeah.
listening to this episode when it releases.
Yeah, it is. We're watching something called Final Girl Halloween, which was voted on by our listeners over on Discord. I don't know a fucking thing about it. I just looked up Halloween themed movies on Tubi, and this one is a 2024 film. So
Oh,
we'll find out. If it's good, then I could take the credit for finding it, and if it's bad, well, they voted for it, so it's not my fault. And that's how it's gonna roll. So join us, Movie Club. All you have to do is join our Discord. It's absolutely free, and I'll send a Zoom link over on Discord. It's at 9 p.m. Eastern, by the way. And then we just watch the movie, have fun, have commentary, and that's it.
all right. So go and check it out, guys. Final Girl Halloween Movie Club. Quick plot synopsis here. After surviving a brutal murder of her friends, Erin must navigate life as a sole survivor while she tries to figure out who the killer is. Currently sitting at unknown on Letterboxd. It doesn't have a aggregate score, so I guess not a lot of people, not enough people have reviewed it yet. But I'm seeing reviews as high as 1 star and reviews as high as 5 stars. So who the hell knows? It could be good, could be bad. How you find out? Go to Movie Club this Friday night. How do you join in on Movie Club? Well, what you do is you join our Discord, completely free to join. Amazing community over there. Steve posts the link to the Zoom, and you watch the movie through the Zoom link with all of your fellow horror friends and family. So there you have it. That is it once again, ladies and gentlemen, for this episode. We hope you enjoyed our review of Salem's Lot and Carved. Next week, what do we got, Steve?
We have the sequel to 1985's The Stuff called The Substance. I have no idea. Probably not. Yeah, but we are reviewing 2024's The Substance. Very popular movie. And actually, fun fact, our very first review that was dictated by our perks over on Indiegogo. So if you want to make us review something, there's still 3, I think, left in that perk where you can pick a movie for us. And this is the first one. So I look forward to it. You know, so many people are talking about it. I knew this was coming, so I kind of waited to watch it, but I'm really excited to see what all the fuss is about. Hopefully it doesn't disappoint like Strange Darlings did for me.
Yes. Awesome. This one definitely one of the highest.
It's got a lot of
I'm sorry, I can't
buzz.
talk right now.
It's got a lot of buzz.
A lot of
This
buzz.
like definitely one of the highest buzz movies of the year. So I'm very much looking forward to checking it out. So go and check it out. It's currently streaming over on VOD, I assume. I haven't even looked yet. Okay. So go and check it out for next week, folks. Should be a really fun and cool review. And in the meantime, you can join us through all of our socials, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Threads. Just search the Horror Squad Podcast. You can also email us anytime, thehorrorsquadpodcast@gmail.com. But you just heard it a minute ago with Movie Club. The absolute best way to keep up with the podcast is our Discord, completely free to join. Just all you do is it's linked over on our Instagram, or you can send us an email, a DM. It'll get you a link to join that Discord and the amazing community over there. Don't forget, leave us a 5-star review on your favorite podcast app if you haven't already. That helps the podcast greatly. And yeah, man, I can't remember everything. tpublic.com. We got merch. We got everything over there. You know, that's about it, folks. Happy Halloween. We hope you had a great Halloween season. And don't be sad it's over. Be happy it happened. And it's going to happen again next year. Keep Halloween in your heart, 365, 24/7, by listening to us, the Horror Squad Podcast. We will give you that Halloween horror fill every single Friday, 3:30 a.m. Eastern. That's when the episode releases. You know, that's when it releases.
Here's my fucking book report from 7th grade. Let me go through. Jesus.
And that's it, folks.
Are you
Enjoy.
buzzed right now?
We'll see you. No, I'm not. And that's it, folks. We'll see you next week for The Substance. See ya.
Bye.